Here's something that took me a long time to really accept. The thing I trust most, my instinct, my gut, my first read on a situation, is also the thing that fails me mostly reliably in exactly the situations where getting it right matters most. Not because I'm particularly rational, because every human mind is built this way. We are pattern recognition machines, spectacularly good ones, and that's used for about 90% of the time. The problem is the other 10%. The situations where the pattern our brain fires isn't the right one, where confidence is high and accuracy is low, where the smarter the person, the more stubborn they defend the wrong conclusion. This isn't a self-help video, it's a practical one, because the man who understands, who actually internalize how their decision making works, make better decisions in business, in leadership, in every domain that actually matters. Your brain runs two fundamentally different operation models, and they're almost always in tension. The first is fast, it's automatic, emotional, associated. It's the system that lets you drive a familiar road without thinking, read a face in a fraction of a second, and the sense of something is wrong before you can articulate why. This system is ancient. It saved human lives for hundreds of thousands of years. The second is slow. It's deliberate, thoughtful, logical. It's a system that lets you solve a math problem, plan a complex project, and construct a careful argument. This system is exhausting to use, and crucially, it's lazy. It tends to endorse what the first system already decided rather than check it independently. This is the core problem. The fast systems make a quick judgment. The slow system, instead of outbuilding that judgment, typically just rationalize it, which means that most of your careful thinking is actually post hoc justification of a conclusion you reached the first half second. There are specific categories of decision where human intuition is predictable, systematically wrong. The first is confidence. We are consistently overconfident about our own predictions. Studies of expert forecasters, people with general expertise in their fields, consistently show that their predictions are barely better than chance in complex domains, yet their confidence remains high. The expert feels certain, the certain is not warranted. The second is sunk cost. We rationally continue investing in things, projects, relationships, commitments, because of what we already put in, not because of what we expect going forward. A man stays in a bad business partnership because of 5 years of work, not because 5 more years will go better. The third is narrative bias. We construct the stories from incomplete information and then treat the story as fact. We see a pattern that confirms what you already believed and assign it far more weight than it deserves. In every case, high confidence or accuracy. That combination is dangerous. So what I find remarkable about this, the Stoics were describing versions of these figures 2000 years before cognitive science confirmed them experimentally. Epictetus had a concept that translates roughly as the first movement, the initial automatic reaction to an event. He argued that this reaction was not under your control. What you could control was what happened next. Your judgment, your response, your choice about whether to endorse that first impression or examine it. He called the practice of suspending that first judgment the discipline of assent. Before you agree with your own first read of situation, before you let that automatic response become your position, you pause, you examine it, you ask, is this actually true, or it is what my pattern matching machine told me before I had time to think? That's not just philosophy, it's a behavioral protocol for catching the failures of the fast system before they turn into decisions. Marcus Aurelius practiced this explicitly. He wrote in Meditations about the value of deliberate delay, of not reacting to events until he had examined his own reaction first. Here's how to actually use this. In any high-stakes decision, business, leadership, a difficult conversation, build in deliberate friction before you act on your first instinct. Ask, what do I need to believe for my current read to be wrong? And ask, am I confident because I have evidence or because the conclusion feels familiar? If someone I respected told me I was making a mistake here, what would their argument be? None of this is about paralysis. It's about not outsourcing your most important decisions to the fastest and the laziest part of your brain. The Stoics call this the examined life. The result is the same, a man who makes better decisions not because he's smarter, but because he's learned to distrust his own confidence at exactly the right moment. There's a line in Proverbs that's been with me since I first read it as an adult, and I quote, "The prudent man sees danger and takes refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty." The prudent man sees danger, not avoid all risks, sees it clearly, which requires not trusting the first read that says everything's fine. That's the discipline, not pessimism, not paralysis, seeing it clearly. And I finish with this. What decision are you most confident about right now that you haven't seriously questioned? Think about it.